Welcome to Effortless Being, where it takes no effort just to be. I have a guest on the line, Rami. Hi, Rami.
Hey, hello, great to see you again.
Good to be seen. Yeah.
Yes. I was looking forward to this.
What's that?
I was looking forward to this one.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah,
Why is
great.
that?
It's always so much joy and abundance and fun and no
Yeah.
script, just free flow
Yeah.
and
Effortless Being, right?
fantastic, completely effortless.
Yeah.
Yes,
No agenda, nothing to fix, nothing to do. We're already whole, already complete. Everything's here. Whatever
yes.
effortlessly wants to flow through. That's the way I always start like the interviews. I'm like, okay, whatever effortlessly wants to come up, comes up. Let's hit
And
play
it
and go.
does. It does, exactly. Yeah. Where's the beach or the yacht in the
Yeah, I
background?
know. It's funny. I just did a
Going
interview with
on?
David Bingham. He's like, you always got like the the waves flapping in the
Yeah.
background or some sunset. I should do that with you. I mean, it just depends. You never know where I'm going to end up, where I'm going to be. I'm just celebrating the end of seeking. So I've just been having fun. I'm just
Yeah.
finding myself just having fun and all that energy, that I used to use for seeking and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Now I just kind of just relaxed and just have all this extra energy now. I just want to travel. Yeah, I got a cruise coming up in March. I'm going on. A few people going to meet me on that celebration. Yeah, people have been like signing up on my website to meet on these cruises to celebrate the end of seeking. Is something new that's been coming up.
So
And
is it
just
for people that have self-realized that you talk about integration, or is it also for people who just want to know how it works and then
it's
you
kind
do
of like
it live?
yeah, it's just kind of like how we're doing here, like on these calls.
Yeah.
Like, we know what's going to arise. So I'm like, yeah, we can talk about self-realization. You want to talk about integration, how it works, with your family or
Yeah.
relationships, or do you want to talk about money? Do you want to talk about, having a business after self-realization? Do you want to, how do you want to do integration, or you just want to, we'll go over some pointers. What is self-realization? What is this all about? Are you seeking? Like, you don't want to end the seeking or, you know, stuff like that. Everybody wants
Right.
like what you're talking about in your book, and that's kind of like what I want to talk to you about is your book. Um, Tell everybody what your book's about. It's about peace. What's the exact name of it? Peace at Last?
Peace at last.
Yeah. I was looking through it again last night.
Mhm.
And that is really something. And even on these calls that I do, Rami, with people, guess like the number one thing that people want. And even when I go on these cruises or meet them at different locations, what they want on
I
my
guess peace, right?
yeah, peace is
Yeah.
like probably the number one thing. They're like, Rob,
Yeah.
forget all this spiritual stuff and all this other stuff. I just want peace, because a lot of these people, that I talk to, they've been suffering
Yeah.
because of their seeking, so they've been seeking all these years, they're looking at all the books and they just feel like they can't get it. And I really related to your book because when I had one on my journey too, for me, the realization was kind of, when David Bingham said, you're the infinite being, having a human experience at that point, it just clicked for me in a sense. And then the seeking had stopped. But leading up to that, there was always this seeking energy. Now that I look at it, there was a lot of seeking because I was looking at like videos of Muji and then The Greatest Secret. I kept listening to, Rhonda's audiobook. And
Yeah.
the whole time I just really wanted peace. I always felt like something was missing. And you spoke about that in the book, how a lot of people, they want this peace because, they're seeking, they feel like something's missing. Maybe you
Yeah.
said something about that. Like, what are you seeing? And you did talk a little bit about it in the book. Like, why do they go on this seeking journey?
Yeah. No, absolutely. So first of all, of course, the book is for everyone, right? I also go back to the basics. So
Yeah.
even if you don't know really about non-duality or self-realization, it can bring you to realize the natural state that you're already in. But what it was mainly made for, I noticed as I was writing,
Yeah.
is people that have been on the path for such a long time, 10, 20, 30 years, seeking what you were saying, the seeking energy, uh, sort of longing, you don't know what for. You know you're here, but it's all sort of unfulfilling, right? This can't be it. Is this all there is? On the way to the grave, working, school, getting married or not, eating, drinking, more working, the very common themes. But this book was especially written for people that have been reading numerous books, have seen the YouTube videos of all kinds of masters and gurus, have been to satsangs, retreats, and always feel like it's elusive. It's
Mm,
I get the message, I get the words, but nothing changes for me. And that is something where I always thought that's the sort of book I haven't seen myself yet.
mm,
And thanks to John Wheeler and David Bingham really seeing what this was all about, I took the first couple of months after really clearly seeing it to just let it flow out of my fingers. And I know this sounds weird when people say it, maybe I haven't written it, it came through me, but that's really what happened.
mhm,
So also the title Peace at Last came to me as I was driving in my car. And all of a sudden it was like, this is the title. It should be called Peace at Last. And I got the chapters and the themes in the same way. Sometimes I had to stop the car, make some notes so I wouldn't forget, and then
mhm,
later on put it on paper. What it really is about, Peace at Last, is the peace that passes understanding. So regardless of circumstances, regardless of one damn thing after another, also known as life,
yeah, right.
you know, no matter what happens, the peace of everything is already okay. The peace of everything is already okay. And how to find that one. That was the most important thing right there. Now I forgot the second question. Um, Help me out. Did you remember what you were asking?
Yeah, I was just talking about how a lot of people like that I've been talking to, they're looking for this peace, and as you said, that peace that surpasses
Mhm.
understanding. There's even, a Bible scripture that talks about that, the peace that
Yes.
surpasses, understanding that people might have learned, from the Bible.
Yeah.
And peace that you were saying, what I was asking you about is like all these people like are seeking, like how do they actually realize this peace? Like
Mm.
how does that actually come about for someone that's been
Yeah.
seeking?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what I start the book with is also the quotes of A Course in Miracles.
Hmm.
Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God, or the peace that passes our understanding.
Hmm.
Um, and I remember what you were asking, by the way. It was also like, who is seeking, or why, why are some people
Oh yeah, that
seeking?
was good. Yeah, why is everybody out seeking anyway? Like what and what
Yeah,
started you?
exactly.
What started you going on this seeking thing? Was something missing?
Yes,
Or-
exactly. The things I also thought everybody is seeking, but that's actually not true. I think it's a certain percentage of people that are really on that path.
Yeah.
Often from a young age on already, they know, okay, there's more to it. This isn't it, this can't be it. Different explanations for it that I all can't prove, so I don't know if they're true or not. Some people talk about like light beings, light workers, or
Mhm.
that you have different lives in your previous one before you enter the body again.
Yeah.
You said, okay, I'll go to this prison planet and see what I can do. Might be true, might be true. I don't know. So I think it's a certain part of the population has this inner urge to find it, and is also never satisfied until they find it. So there's a certain part of I don't know how many, what the percentage is of what you could call the spiritual seekers.
Yeah.
Also often very hypersensitive people, very in tune with energies, etc.
Hmm.
Often you see also that they had quite a tough time growing up.
Right.
So lots of, as David calls them, invitations thrown their way for some reason. You
Hmm.
could say that it's a demiurge trying to get them off track, making life extra difficult
The
for
energy
them.
harvesting system.
Exactly, exactly. Or it's maybe a sort of way to mature and be an even better teacher, so to speak, teacher,
Yeah.
and help others along the way. And what it is to wake up. And I've heard it so many times and it just never got through. Which is really
I
so
know you
funny.
mentioned that in the book. Yeah.
Yeah, it's every single quote, every religious quote or philosophical quote, and I go back to them also in the book.
Yeah.
Know thyself, the peace that passes understanding.
Yeah.
Don't pretend to be who you're not. Be who you are or what
Yeah.
you are. All these things. I always thought these are like huge religious difficult truth that you need to absorb, and then maybe you translate them within yourself and then you understand, but nothing could be further from the truth. It's simply literally how it is. So this is the simplest way, I think, in which people 2000 or whatever years ago could just express what it was.
Yeah, literally.
The advice is take it literally. It's
Yeah.
not more complicated than that at
Right.
all. You
Yeah.
are that. End
Yes.
of story.
Yeah. I even start my videos like that. Okay, guys. You are okay. Just want to make a disclaimer. You are what you're looking for. So
Yeah.
the rest of the call is just going to be for fun. Because we have the
Oh,
mind, because the mind comes in. It's like, no, it can't
it
be.
can't be.
It's not,
Yes.
can't be that simple. It
No,
can't
no, no.
be. This is you
Uh,
are. This is it.
yes, yes.
I
So,
was
so the
telling Dave on the
miracle.
call. I said, ever get to
Yes.
the point where you just go, "This is it." He goes, "Well, it's even faster than that. People just look at a video or a line in a book, and
Yeah,
you never know when it's gonna
yeah,
trigger
yeah.
somebody." But in your book, you mentioned intuition,
Mm,
and we're talking about the intuition's good because sometimes that seeking can be good in a way because
mm,
it's kind of like waking you up. That you were
yeah,
talking about say something about intuition and how that plays
mm.
in, in all of this.
That's also something that came in hindsight, that intuition has always been right.
Mm,
That's just something I wanted to put down there for people to read, that they take it seriously, that the intuition, when it comes in, and it's often a very subtle voice, a subtle feeling, a subtle nudge, or you feel drawn to something.
mm.
I'm getting sick of quoting David, but for the sake of being correct and transparent, this is also a David Bingham quote: the contraction and expansion. That is
Yes.
in a short way how you can feel and find your intuition. If you feel expansion, go there. A
Mm,
certain idea, something creative, a person you feel drawn to, or a place, an energy, a location, a job, follow it, even if you don't know yet how it will play out. And if you feel contraction, it's also your inner voice or your intuition telling you, "Ah, wait a second, take 24 hours, have a look again. Maybe this is not the place to go, or the job to go after, or maybe the person to pursue or to be with necessarily." And certain things that seem to be a waste of time or took really long in my search, which could be several satsangs or all these group meetings. I also talked about it with David, that you had this high guru sitting on a stage that had it, and then the hundreds of people sitting somewhere else trying to get some sort of energetic transmission or find enlightenment in some sort of way. And I also made this joke about, who was allowed to put the flowers on the desk, but it is literally how it went with the disciples that were closest,
Yeah.
to the guru. Like, I put the chair, or no, I do the flowers, and it felt like a huge waste of time. But in the end, you also see that your intuition has brought you, or has brought me, to these meetings, to these satsangs, because it was exactly what I needed along the way. So
Okay.
nothing is really a waste. Everything had its purpose. And yeah, that's something I did realize in hindsight. And
Mm.
also certain things that are now completely clear, that I think, oh, wait a minute. This or that teacher has said literally this 15 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you can't hear it, it
Yeah.
doesn't come in. So it's a bit of a yeah, tricky topic, grace or not grace. But it seems to be that there's a little twist of grace attached to it as well, right? Or it's also in the mix. As to timing, like when do you get it, or when does it really, does the penny drop? I realize saying that also makes it a bit difficult, because it could sound like, apart from everything you can do, there's also grace that needs to, find you or not. But it would be wrong, I think, to completely leave it out.
Mhm.
I'm not 100% sure how that works exactly. But I do know, if you go straight, and it's not only where you look, in the basics,
Mhm.
it's not only the direction you look, it's also from where you're looking from,
There it is. Yes. Say more
right?
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that really is the key. And then I would say, who cares about grace?
Yeah. Because you're already whole and complete, right? So if you're looking from the
Correct.
essence of what you are, from effortless being, or
Yes.
infinite being, whatever you want to call what already is, the aliveness,
Yeah.
this, when you're looking from here, everything's whole and complete. It's just when the thoughts come and people put their attention lost in the thought world or the beliefs, they're pulling away from what's already here. So
Correct.
you're looking
Exactly.
from that separate person, if you haven't seen through the separate I, Ram, Rami, whatever, that's all
Yes.
these thoughts are connected
Exactly.
to. You're looking from here, it looks totally different. It looks like, oh my goodness, everything's
Yeah.
happening to me, and there's
Yes.
fear
Exactly.
and all and all these things. But if you're looking from the
Yeah.
spaciousness, so that is key for people to know that. Like, where are you looking from, right?
Yeah. And the funny thing is that the one that's looking, which is not an individual person,
Right.
it is impersonal awareness. It's presence awareness. But to really see and absorb and realize that what you are does not have any attributes or qualities that you can see, touch, feel, taste, or whatever. So anything you can notice via the senses isn't essentially who you are. It's relatively who you are. So you can feel your body, your hands, you can, use your eyes, you see your hair, etc. But those are attributes, qualities of the body, of the mind, of the emotional body, for example.
Mhm.
But what we really are has none of those. And that is a really, on the one hand, difficult to grasp. On the other hand, it's really obvious. If you can't point to it, you can't see it, taste it, smell it. But the thing that is aware of the pointing, the seeing, the tasting, the smelling, that is what it is. And that is never not here. It's the only thing that's permanent.
Yeah, I love when
Only
you said that in the
that never
book. Like,
leaves.
there's the permanent and the impermanent.
Yes,
The
yes,
permanent, is always here. It's always been here since you can remember.
yeah, yeah,
And it's never left. And it was good in the book because you were talking, and because you were saying like how the impermanence, like the thoughts, the body sensations, they come and go in this, with the permanent spacious beingness that we are. And I really love how you made the distinction between the permanent and the impermanent, because once that's seen,
yeah.
then the self-realization is right there. You realize,
It is. And then everything you see is entertainment,
yeah,
as you beautifully express always.
if it just becomes more lighthearted,
Yeah, yeah.
more
It's
fun.
entertainment, but it's also meaningful and it's beautiful and it's unique. And
And there's
yeah,
love and compassion here too, because it's just automatically here. And you can
yeah.
relate to people like I do in your book, because you can relate to people, going on those years of suffering. And
Oh, yeah.
talk about like the different pointers that are out there. I was talking to David about this. Like, you have some people being more direct
Yeah.
with their pointers, and people are coming. The seeking energies looks like it's stopping for people when we go more direct. And David does some direct too when he does showing the distinction between the personal mode and the impersonal mode. Maybe say something about that.
Yeah. So that is, I think, leading a little bit to what you're looking from. So if
Mm,
you're looking from the personal mode, which is what we have been conditioned to do since birth, and that's also what makes it difficult, right?
yeah.
Look beyond it and to realize what's always very subtle, but very juicy and delightfully in the background.
It's over there, right?
It's always there. It's
It's like
always
we're
there.
talking, but it's like noticing everything.
It's
It's all
always,
around too. It's like noticing
yeah,
everything's registering directly in it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like those drawings that you see, sometimes you look at them and then it's an elderly woman, and then if you see it in a different way, all of a sudden it's a duck. It's the
Yeah.
same, but it's just to see the other side, to flip it. And then once you have seen it, you can't unsee it anymore. So personal is what we have been taught to look at from the personality. There's also always a lack of resources, a lack of money, a lack of whatever, and then others might get it, and then you won't. And so there's always a bit of a struggle, territorial stuff going on, survival, anxiety, sometimes the black hole of, worthlessness. For some people, that is, somewhere at the root of the ego. For others, it's existential anger or rage, having to be on this planet, not having asked for it, and all of a sudden you have to, take care of yourself, get food, feed this thing,
Yeah.
get, a roof over your head, and then also kind of struggle with other individuals that want the same thing. So this is like the basic illness, I would say, of the ego, this survival mode, etc. And to be compassionate as well. Of course, the ego is a nice um, sort of inner voice that tries to help survive. The
Mhm.
only thing is, it's not necessary if you see who you really are.
Yeah, it's almost like the nervous system adjusts because
It
you're like
is.
in that
Yes.
light mode. The nervous
Yes.
system's,
Exactly.
it's looking for safety when you're looking from the
Yeah.
personal mode. But I like how
That's
David said the personal mode's like optional though. You want to have a
absolutely.
little bit of fun or something, but you can be
Absolutely.
selective how much you want to give your energy or attention and
Exactly.
play in the personal mode because you're always resting,
That's right. And
effortless.
the impersonal mode is this stationary awareness, which is also something to make yourself giggle. Like I feel this giggling in my stomach when I think about it. The fact that nothing ever moves.
Yeah, it's like
Who
right
you,
there in the book. I was laughing
yeah,
when you said that. When I'm
so
traveling around with something, I'm like, do they really even ever move? Like,
no, that is the truth. So what you are never moves. It's always stationary. It
uh,
has no boundary. There's no end to it,
yeah,
right?
so
It's and sometimes it's difficult for people to realize when they use their eyes because there is a horizon, and then after that you can't see anymore, or you can't see beyond the wall. So okay, that could be difficult to use seeing to realize that. But if you use hearing, it's
mm,
I find it easier to realize how endless and without boundaries you are. Because if it's the car, uh, I don't know how far away, or your cat purring right next to you,
mhm.
it hits you, it's the same area, basically. It doesn't matter what the distance is. So it's somehow in an auditory way, to me, it feels easier to realize this boundlessness of the impersonal being that you are. And within that peace and rest that you feel, you see the 10,000 things popping up
Yeah,
equally.
equally and effortlessly, right?
Equally and effortlessly, exactly. So, a glass of water or your iPhone or a person or a pet or a car, whatever it is. And it's just great.
How does it feel to not have that seeking energy anymore?
It's exactly like you said, you have this surplus of energy. Um, Unbelievable. I had no idea that this would be one of the consequences of, because you have this, you picture how it would be, and, from everything you read, and it's
Yeah.
always different. It's never what you think it would be. And it's unique for everyone. But sometimes I even, like, I forget for a minute that the seeking has stopped. And then I remember, like, oh yeah, wait, the seeking has stopped. And then you get this surge of extra energy because it's inadvertently, it did take a lot of energy and in the background
Be a
as well.
person. Yeah, to
Seeking,
be a
seeking,
person takes a lot of
seeking.
energy, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
The different identities that you have to
Wow.
identify with and
Yes.
keep up, all that energy. Now that all comes back to you, your effortless being. What are you doing with all this extra energy now?
Well, what happened next to my full-time job, right? The book was written. I have conversations with people, that have questions about
Fantastic.
this, etc.
Tell me more
Um,
about that. Like when you get on a call with somebody, I do one calls too, so I'm really curious about. And David and I were talking about on our interview a lot about the one-on-one call. Tell me
yeah,
like so somebody calls you up, like just walk me through a typical like somebody books a
yeah,
call with you or whatever. Walk
yeah,
me through how that goes.
absolutely. So one is you can find it on yournaturalstate.com.
Okay.
And it has the minuses in between your, dash natural dash state
Yeah.
.com. And
That's
then
a
I have
John Wheeler thing, natural state, right?
yes, correct. But it's such a great expression because it's exactly what it
It's your
is.
natural state, yeah.
Effortless being is the same thing, of course, but the fact that it's your natural state takes away all this, specialness and
Yeah.
ooh,
It's just
difficult. No,
it's
it's your
not
natural
outside
state.
you. There's no hierarchy,
Nothing.
specialty.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
exactly.
it's literally like when we're saying it, it's It's literally your natural
Again,
state. Like,
again, one of those, nothing, poetic, nothing difficult, nothing
love that.
spiritual. It's literal. It's literal. Take it literally. So two things. One is the conversation in general, non-duality, Advaita, similar to what David is doing or what you're doing.
Yeah.
Um, it can be, go to the basics and find for yourself what it is, to really find it within. But many times it's also questions. It's just answering questions. And sometimes when you hear someone answer something from direct experience and you give the same situation that you are in, and then you hear someone else how this would be from effortless being, something clicks in the listener because they are more than capable to seeing it the same way. But sometimes you just have to hear it phrased differently and phrased to your own unique personal situation, and then it clicks.
Mm,
That is what I think is really helpful. And the other one I offer is the Enneagram specific one, where I look at the different personality types.
hmm
Um, because I also think the Enneagram shows you what you are not,
mm,
ego, the character fixation, how that one appears, and how that one gives you unique qualities, but also unique pitfalls and unique shit, to be honest, on your path that is completely preventable. That is totally unnecessary psychological suffering. And I find if I go more specifically into the Enneagram type of a person, I leave out the 80% that's not really relevant for them. That is for others. Pain points for other people that this Enneagram person doesn't have as such. And you really focus on the sort of poisonous arrows that hit in the so-called core of the ego. And once you see that and you see that from effortless being, it dissolves. And I find that a more effective way than the generic, one size maybe doesn't fit all.
right.
So, but it's just a tool to get to the same thing.
Yeah, that's what I love about the one-on-one calls because you can kind of customize it. You can
Correct.
meet people where they're at. And like David says, like even on the one-on-one calls, it's not even like there's something going on. Even like it's almost like the stillness or the effortless being is kind of doing the work. It's nothing we're doing. It's just like kind of coming through. But we're like you said, it's different than a conversation at a supermarket. We're talking about self-realization and something wants to come through and reveal it. And I love how you do that in the book. You talk about looking at it from effortless being, and then of course looking at it from the person, showing the difference of depending on where we're looking from. What was interesting
Correct.
too in your book, you talked about how you like you knew what you weren't, like netty, like I'm not this, I'm not that. And then what happened was you continued to seek even after you realized what you weren't, because when the invitations or the thoughts would come to
Mhm.
invite you back in, you found yourself getting back into personalization
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
again because you didn't really realize what you were. You already knew
Mhm.
what you weren't. We do that, like, okay, I'm aware of that, so I'm not that, I'm not this, I'm not this thought, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my body
Yeah.
sensations. But you mentioned something in the book when I think it was David and John Wheeler, but their information and talking about directly what you actually are. Once you
Mhm.
realize what you were, then those invitations weren't a problem for you anymore. You kind of saw right through them,
Yeah.
that seeking stop. But there are a lot of people that might be in that situation, like they know what they're not, and they're
Mhm.
continuing to seek for years, and because they really haven't seen what exactly they are. Maybe say something about that.
Sure, absolutely. That's a big one that has kept me
Yeah, I've seen
for
that a
years
lot
as
of
well.
calls.
Absolutely. So even after realization,
Yeah.
so-called with Gangaji, this blissful feeling of like 14 days, no problem whatsoever. And then when the first invitation hits, and that one is something like, this can't happen to me. This can't be real. It was a dream. I'm not special enough. I'm not whatever enough. So those are invitations that are very, very common. And
Absolutely.
then if you don't know what you really are and you believe them, you believe you're back as an ego, as a person, as a suffering individual. So that's for sure what happened. And what you really are, what really helped, and what has never left since is beautiful, he said in Sat-Chit-Ananda. Also something that I always thought, oh, that sounds really nice. It's,
Fancy word.
it's yeah, is it Sanskrit? I think so. I'm not sure. I think so. And it basically is what John Wheeler calls, are you present? So this is something you can check right now. Are you present? And without thinking, because you don't need thinking for that, yes, I'm present. I exist.
Yes, everyone could do that
Second
right now in their
question,
direct experience.
right?
They can just check, Do I
Just
exist?
check it
Everybody's gonna say yes, of
anytime.
course, Jack. Yes.
Anytime. If you have difficult thing at work or you wake up in the middle of the night, do I still exist? Am I present? So answer is always yes. And I would suggest people to test this many times.
Yeah.
Second question is, am I aware that I exist? So there is not only existence and no one knowing that there is existence. Is there also a knowing? Or is there an awareness of existence? The answer is yes, without thinking. I exist. I'm aware I exist. And then the last one, so this one was Sat and Chit. And the last one, Ananda, you get for free as a bonus, which is bliss or loving to be. So the moment you take the second to check if you still exist and if you're aware that you still exist, you get this juicy, delightful feeling of, oh, I love being. It's some people call it bliss, some call it peace. It's this delicious sort of byproduct once you check what you really are. And the fact that there is such a phrase, Sat-Chit-Ananda, and that this is what was meant all these years ago, and it's literally available always. What more proof do you need? No matter what happens, no matter the situation, the circumstances, this is always there. And this is what you are.
This that's always here, this effortless being, this aliveness, this sense of existence, does it have any problems?
Does it need anything?
Is
I love
something
that
missing?
one. Yeah, what does it need?
Is it worried about money? Can it die?
Yeah.
How old is it?
How old, how fat? You know, how much Botox does it need? Or new clothes or whatever. Yeah.
It's still, it's at peace,
Yeah.
it's expansive.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels full, like a fullness.
Oh, yeah. And this relief to really, to really feel this. What I really am needs nothing. There are no needs. It's just,
Ah.
yeah. Man, so you can finally stop, working really hard for this tyrant in your head.
Marinate in the beingness.
Yeah. And I know this makes no sense to the mind, but it doesn't matter. You know it's
Yeah,
true.
because then the mind comes in, right? And this is what
What?
happens in the falls when I did, but well, okay, so I just stay in this, it's like a state or something. Like I just stay like, how am I gonna function? Like, the mind is because it's always
Yeah,
trying to protect and safety. It comes in. Well, what do I do? I just sit here in bliss all day. I got this responsibility, that responsibility. It comes in.
yeah.
But what the funny thing is, it's all happening automatically and effortlessly, and everything is registering directly in awareness. And there's this effortless intelligence that's running everything that's been doing it the whole time anyway. So it's just that the thoughts are coming in after and trying to take sovereignty of what's happening when it's all
Yes.
happening automatically and there's nothing to really do. It's all happening effortlessly. So what's with all the resistance? What's with all the buy-in with these thoughts? These thoughts are losing weight. It's like if somebody called me up on the phone and said, Rob, I hate your guts, and I know who they were. I would just, and I'm never going to talk to you again. Okay, just go about my day. But for some reason, with these thoughts, we feel like it's like our mom or dad calling, saying,
Mm.
I hate your guts. Or we take it so personal, and we give these thoughts so much weight, and then we get lost in these stories, and people are getting exhausted.
Yeah.
When the peace that surpasses all understanding that you talk about in your book is always, it's right here, and you beautifully pointed to it.
The piece of nothing wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Nothing's missing. Especially when you question, the effortless being that's here, the peace that's here, the aliveness that's here. When you question it, you can see it directly in your own experience.
Yeah.
Anyone can.
Yeah, you can indeed. And to just test this, because I know it's easier for people to realize that things are being done for you.
Yeah,
If you look at your digestion and that the nails are growing and
effortlessly. Yeah,
everything is, there's nobody like, okay, I need to beat my heart now. Shit, I forgot. Thank God. That's not
such
the
a
case,
great pointer. It's so good.
you know. But this one is really, really, really obvious. But I know there's a bit of a hesitance, if in the real world, so to speak, dealing with family, money, work, etc. But you can start small. And if someone asks you what you would like to drink, don't answer right away, but just wait a second and see that the answer is coming up by itself. It's only the voice that says afterwards, oh yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. I see this too when I'm doing these calls. I give these interviews like with you right now. I'm just sitting here, like I know what's gonna come up. Like, and then but the mind will come in and see, I thought like no, you didn't.
Yeah, yeah.
It came through effortlessly.
It does. It does. Exactly. This is like a small one just to practice with, tea or coffee. And you will see your body always tells you what it wants.
The truth.
So even though, sometimes you feel like a craving for fish or for an apple or a
Yeah.
certain color you want to eat, and it's always correct.
Or
It always
marshmallow cake. I
makes
like
sense.
marshmallow cake. Where's that craving? Oh, the mind just came in and said, "You like? Don't forget, you have to tell her you like marshmallow cake." Okay.
No, but that's not really it. And at work, it's the same thing. So even if there's a very challenging situation going on, which
Uh-huh.
maybe before I would have had prophylactic worrying,
Yeah,
you
that the extra
you
added
know,
story and
exactly.
emotions
Yeah,
getting,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
feeling it in the body and all these
Oh,
feelings and
like this.
stress and
Yeah,
anxiety coming up.
yeah.
Yeah,
The voice tells you this is beneficial because if you worry, days before it happens, for
gonna
some
change.
reason, maybe you're better prepared, which is never the case, right?
Yeah.
Because things always happen differently. But what I would suggest to play with is to almost lean back. You don't have to do it literally, but you can do it inside and see how Rob or Romy will solve it. And the perfect thing will always come out if you do it like that.
You rest back. Yeah,
Yes,
drop
it
down,
does
drop
take a bit
down
of
to the
trust.
body.
Yeah, it takes a bit of trust, right? If
Open up. Yeah, because you're always so because the attention always wants to go out here. It's always
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
focused out. I want to
yeah,
control the experience. I want to fix it.
yeah,
Can
correct.
you just
Yeah,
rest back?
slowly let go,
And
slowly.
then
Yeah,
you'll come to see it's effortlessly been going automatically anyway. You
yeah.
can trust that.
Yes. So also if people come to you with a problem or they have something, if you're fully present and you fully listen to what's coming in, and then you just wait for the response to come out, then it will always be the right response. That is really my experience here.
Beautiful.
But if you're already full of thoughts and if then that, and if they say this, I will say that, you're sort of in a prison and it's a bit contracted and controlling and it costs lots of energy.
Mm.
That is what I noticed. So the letting go and just still be aware and present, let it come in and let the response flow out. And just see, I mean, that then you will also see this whole intuition thing, because the responses are also given based on your intellect, your memory, your past experiences. That all has not been in vain. It's all perfect. It's all, saved in the library. So you don't become stupid or you forget everything because you're self-realized. It's just that the machine works better. The intellect, the mind, because it's not overused too much for worrying, it really can, like a really good AI that's not overloaded, it can be very precise and exact and have the right words at the right moment to say whatever needs to be said. And then it's over as well. So you don't take it to the next place, you don't take it to the next vacation or meeting or home to your partner. It's over.
Mm.
That's
No
also
residual,
beautiful.
right? No residual.
No, exactly. Yeah. That is also such an energy saver.
Yeah. Because the mind likes to keep looping it and playing
Yeah.
it. It's like,
Replaying, especially in things that weren't so nice. So someone does something to you once, and then you do it to yourself hundreds of times by replaying. Also good to just be aware of that one. And one that I would also like to mention, if about invitations.
Yeah.
after realization that appear to draw you back into individuality and psychological suffering. What really worked for me, and I've said it before, I think also in our meetings, but it has been really beneficial to make the list, especially when everything is calm and normal and there's nothing going on. But you can also do it when it's happening, and then just to write down your top 10 main major invitations.
What's
And I
on
know
your What's on your list, Rami? If I look at your list, show me your list. What's on there?
it's usually about dutifulness and responsibility. So feeling responsible for something and then feeling like you're failing. You're failing your colleagues or your friends or your partner or your pets. For example, I have a dog and then I'm going to work every day and then, oh my God, I'm not a good,
Yeah, pet owner. Yeah.
pet owner or dog mom, whatever. So those things immediately hit. They bring back, and that is also directly linked to the Enneagram type. So you can already predict, if you know the type, exactly what sort of things will hit and will feel real and will feel like you have to do something with them. But it could also be something like money, for example. So I was also raised with my brother by our mom, single mom, and never enough money for anything. So
Lack,
basically,
right? A lot of
what we
lack.
also
Yeah.
always lack.
Yeah.
And what we have learned also is if you have a bit of money or there's a bit of a bonus or something extra coming in, you spend it right away before the next bill comes.
Oh,
No? Yeah. So those sort of patterns, something that you then inherited in a way,
I see.
and then always feeling like, whenever I have a bit of luck, it's always taken away right away. Oh, that's just my luck.
Oh,
I'm not good with money. All these thoughts, that is also like a common one, and also one that I had. Where at some point I also realized it's the other way around. So basically, the money came in just before this unexpected leakage came or bill, so I could pay it.
right.
You were taken care of all along, always.
Yeah, it's just that the mind comes in and thinks it has to control it, like this inner
Yeah,
controller. There's no
exactly.
inner controller here. It's all been happening effortlessly, and we are taken care of. There's
Yes,
infinite
and
intelligence here doing it. Yeah.
especially that, and I can imagine on this prison planet, as I call it, and also if you look around and you see the news and whatever's going on, um, it can feel malevolent sometimes that you think, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But I I would say from experience, the universe is benign. That is my experience. It really is, and it really takes care.
Care of itself.
And because you are it,
Yeah.
and you are the creator and you have infinite possibilities of creation. If you really believe it's not like that, you get those experiences and you will get them perfectly because everything works perfectly. Also, that. So, I always love to quote Byron Katie on this. Every time you think things can't get better, they have to, and they will get better. That's the law. However, and this is also relative because what you really are never changes, right? And it's never touched, it's never affected. But the other way around is also true. If you really believe, you know, this is just my luck. I'm always unlucky. People suck. You can't trust anyone, etc. Money is bad. All these things.
Yeah.
This will also sort of appear in this cinema of entertainment because it works really well.
And then it could work the other way. Like everything always works out for me. I am abundance, you know.
It's
The
true as
universe is
well.
on my side. It seeks to delight me at every turn. Everything's always working out for me.
Yeah,
It can work the other way too. And then, oh wow, everything
it fully
does.
does. It fully does. And that
Like
is
a
basically
frequency game, right? Even David talks about
absolutely.
everything's like it's like a frequency game we're playing. I like the fun, abundant, joyful
Yeah,
frequency. That's a fun human experience to be
yeah,
on.
yeah. That's absolutely right. And there's also some sort of research that was done of people that went bankrupt, that had nothing. And you will see if they were rich before, within months, they are back at it.
Yeah,
But if they were already not, they usually also stay poor. And that also has to do a lot with the manifesting qualities of the mind.
yeah, those lack beliefs that they have, they could just let them go,
Yes, correct, correct.
you know.
And but there are two layers there. Like if you do it from the personality point of view, it can also work and it can give you what you like. but then also life has a way of taking it away again, because this is not what really matters.
Mm.
What
Empty.
I feel what
Yeah.
really matters is know
Because
yourself.
when you get that
No,
money or that promotion, that job, you think that's going to fulfill you, but it's really empty. It's really
it
just the
doesn't.
relief. It's just the
Yes,
relief from all the thoughts of the mind saying you had to get there. Oh, you now you got it. Now those thoughts relax. There's where you find the rest. But you can do a shortcut. You already have it right here, right now. Like
voila,
you
that's it.
don't have to go through
Even
all
that
that.
is benign. Even that is benign. So it's like a built-in safety trigger.
Yeah,
You just don't start believing in external things that make you happy or fulfilled, indeed, like
it's
money,
inside.
the
Yeah,
relationship, the body, the work, the position, whatever. But it's sort of built in that if
programming. Yeah,
it comes to you for the wrong reasons, if it comes to you as a personality and you struggle and strive for it and you compete, etc., if it works out, it's always very short duration, because either you need more, you want more, it's no longer fulfilling, or you lose it, or something like that happens, or it becomes too much, you get a burnout. Something is always built in to throw you right back
yeah. If
until
people could just
you
find
find,
that the ordinary is extraordinary. I was talking about this with David, like because he take care of his mom and stuff, and just sometimes just sitting there having a piece of cake, with a loved one.
yeah,
Doesn't have to be marshmallow cake, but it could be
fantastic.
just a piece of cake, with someone. Can that be enough? Is something missing in that
Yes,
moment? Whatever's happening in this moment is full.
yeah. It
Nothing
was a
needs to be
beautiful
added.
conversation. I
Yeah,
loved it. Yeah.
nothing needs to be added to this moment. It's already full.
No, and then it comes.
Yeah, that's
But
what
but
happens.
but don't do it as a means to an end. So if you're
No,
trying to trick the system, it won't work. It
it's
never
just a
does.
natural, just a natural, yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
a naturalness.
Yeah.
So what's next for Rami? What's on? I mean, I have another cruise in March, and then another that's going to like Aruba, Panama, Colombia, and then in October I have another one coming up to Barcelona and Morocco. So if you're
Oh,
interested, let me know.
I will let you know, because that sounds really nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of fun. You get to meet other people that
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
you
It's
know.
such a great idea to do it that way.
Yeah, David said he may join one day, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
Once, yeah, the
Yeah,
situation is
once things calm
different.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's other people that you
Yeah.
meet them too.
I
So
also think, first of all, yes, the surroundings are beautiful, but also you're taken out of your daily routine as
there it
well,
is. Yeah,
right?
you're right.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
can relax and just
Yeah.
enjoy
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
there.
There literally is nothing else to do.
No, no,
Also
there's literally not. It's very
to
relaxed.
realize that really there's nothing to
Yeah,
do.
like literally. When we're talking
Lovely. Lovely.
literally. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get back to you on that one, because it's a great
yeah,
idea. Yeah.
fantastic.
So for me, I'm really busy at my current job, as
Yeah,
the regular one that I'm doing at the moment,
yeah,
which is also really nice.
good.
But there is also some sort of second book in the works, at least mentally. It's
Hey,
coming. Yay.
happy
So
for
which will
you.
be the link between non-duality and the Enneagram. Because the
Oh, that's
Enneagram
so
has
good.
been discovered thousands of years ago for exact this reason, for having the key to what you really are by finding out what you're not. And I see it's being misused a little bit, especially in companies, like a recruitment system, or sort of
They're using it. Yeah.
typing drawer, you're this, you're that, this color, that color. It can be beneficial for that. It can help you communicate better. It can help you get better in your career, etc. For sure. But I always called it decorating your prison cell.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the book too.
Yes, yeah, which can be helpful, but it is not what I'm about. Also not what you're about. So
Right.
I wanted to make that link, to make it more clear, and to help people more individually. I know that word is a bit tainted now, but from where they are at that moment, to
You're
see
meeting them
what
where they're at.
they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And for that, I might also get in touch with you, because I would like to interview people after realization and then with their Enneagram type. Because
Yeah.
what
Which
I
one did you say I was again? You told me last.
7, the enthusiast.
Yeah, enthusiast. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? But where, you go from gluttony, which is the deadly sin of the type 7,
Uh-huh.
to, I think, after realization, abundance.
Oh,
Endless joy, and that's true for every single Enneagram type. Because this prison planet, as I call it again, half grain of salt, of course,
yeah.
but it's all inversed. Everything is
Everything
inversed.
is inversed. Yeah.
Everything is. And
It's
I think
the opposite is what's true.
correct. And you can find that also in this beautiful tool in the Enneagram, which was
Wow.
not thought of by a human being. It's not some sort of theological or a philosophical idea that someone had. It is literally that people have been observing other people, just like they observe nature, like how a leaf grows, in what uh, like autumn, winter, etc., how you call them, in what month does
Yeah.
what happen in a plant, right? And you can always see that exactly how it's developing, how it's growing, when the fruit is coming, etc. And in that same way, they have observed something in humans, and that one is just universally true. No matter what continent you're from, what your parents did, if there's a religion or not, culture doesn't matter. It's always the same. If you have that Enneagram type, you will want to get the same sort of things that translate for you to wealthy or health, life, and well-being.
Yeah.
And you will want to avoid things that feel to you like sickness, death, and that you want to not have. And we all think that we all have those same things we want to get and we want to avoid,
Yeah.
but there are actually 9 different versions of it. And
Fantastic.
once you see that, it's becomes so unbelievably clear.
Sounds like
So,
you get a lot of clarity out of it once you know.
absolutely, so much clarity, self-reflection, laughter as well, but also compassion to all the other millions of Enneagram types that don't share yours. And all of a sudden you see like, oh my God, now I know why
It's just a
success is so
program running.
important for
Yeah. It's
you.
just a program. Yeah.
It's a program,
Yeah.
literally. Yeah, that's right. So
Oh,
what's looking at the program is the same, of course, in
yeah.
you, in me, in everyone. That's the
Right.
that's the fun part.
All part of that open space of being, right?
Absolutely. And that's why it's also nice that the Enneagram is on a circle. You have the 9 types on the outer places of the circle, 9 points, and it's like a spectrum. But what's in the circle?
Yeah. That's great. Oh, yeah, we
Looking
can
from
go.
there.
I'm interested to see how that all comes about. Yeah. Stay in
Yes.
touch with me on that one.
Oh, I
That's
will do. I will do. So yeah, it's coming out. And whatever else, no plans. It's
yeah,
funny.
whatever wants to
I'm in
come
a
in. Yeah.
real corporate environment. And really, I hope no one asks me what I want to be in 5 years, because it's funny.
Yeah.
That's a
Who
stupid
knows?
question.
Yeah. I don't know. What am I going to be in the next minute? Like, I don't know. Everything's
Yeah, exactly.
spontaneous, very spontaneous. Yeah, I was doing a what I'm called with a guy yesterday, and I was talking to him and say, he's like, so what do you got going on like next year? With it? I was like, I don't know, just whatever spontaneously comes up. I might be jumping on a plane in like 5 minutes. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone with Robbie. I don't know.
It's so much fun. My God,
There she
really.
is. She keeps coming up in my consciousness. She keeps appearing. I like what David said too. Well, like we love having more ladies like, involved with this self-realization stuff. It's so nice and because people
Mm,
can relate,
yeah,
and all these different expressions that are out there, this unity consciousness as the
yeah,
foundation of everything. We all have that. We all
yeah,
are that unity consciousness, and then everything kind of flows from there. But having that as the baseline and all these different beautiful beings like yourself, expressing this and people can resonate with you and the different
mhm,
expressions. It's so nice that it's not
yeah,
just like one expression, one way to go. You can, like you
yeah,
said, listen to your intuition, and
exactly.
it'll
And
direct you.
I'm not saying anything new. I'm just saying it maybe in a different way.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's exactly what is needed. You just
What's
need
needed.
to hear it in different words, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, that,
Yeah.
oh,
Because you might have heard that. Like I had some people say, well, I've heard that expression. You're the infinite being having a human. That
yeah,
didn't do anything for me.
oh,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that was the one for you.
yeah,
That
that
just,
just happened to be the code or whatever. I don't know what you want to
yeah,
call it. Like,
yeah. Yeah. For me, it was this one lady said literally, you are it already.
yeah, you mentioned that in the book. You are
Yeah.
it,
And,
and
and
you've heard
just
that before, right? You've heard that.
nothing special at all. And I've heard it many times, but to really again take it literally,
Yeah, like
not
literally, like
don't
I'm
hear it
literally
like a
saying you are
sentence.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, don't
literally.
don't take it like, yeah, in 3 years from now, if I meditate enough, then I will understand what it means and then I will be it. No, 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 no.
No, let's
You
cut
are
all that out.
it
Shortcut. Throw it all.
already.
You are it, Rami.
Yes. Like, what? Wait.
Yeah, that's fantastic. All right, this looks like a good place to close out. Anything else you want to express or say?
It feels totally complete. It's amazing how we do this also in an hour without trying.
It all comes out of it. It just flows. There's no higher controlling it. Like, what's out there? Thank you, Rami. Encourage everybody to go check out your book, Peace At Last.
Thank
Oh,
you.
one last thing. Have you ever thought about putting it on audiobook? Have some people
Oh,
asking.
I should maybe do that.
Yeah, because
I
there's a
need
lot of people that when they're
now.
driving around stuff, they like to listen
Yeah.
to it. I'm just looking at myself, even with the books I have out. A lot of people like the audiobooks.
Yeah.
They seem more popular that I'm noticing. So just an
Point.
idea.
Thank you. I'll check it out. I also
Yeah.
like to do that myself, to listen while driving.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Much love to you, Rami.